your energy up the entire show, okay? Because, no, thank you. Some crowds, they have big energy in the beginning, and then they run out of places to go. So, I don't judge those crowds, by the way, okay? We've all gone too big too fast and then run out of room. We've all made a happy birthday sign. Wait. You get that poster board up and you're like, I don't need to trace it. I know how big letters should be. To begin with, a big-ass H, followed by a big-ass A, and oh no, oh God. Okay, all right, real skinny P with a high hump, and then we'll put the second P below the hump of that first P, sort of like a motorcycle sidecar situation. And now I have no room for the Y, so I'll do a kind of curled up noodle Y. Block letters and cursive look good together. And then you go to write birthday, and you totally forget the lesson you just learned with happy. You're like, yeah, but the past is the past. Big-ass B. Surely more letters will fit in the same space. You're very friendly here in Chicago. I mean, we're all violent here, but you're very friendly. No, really, and I don't like confrontation, because I've never been in a fight before. Though maybe you could tell that from the first moment I walked out on stage. I don't give off that vibe. Some people give off a vibe of like, right away, they like, do not fuck with me. My vibe is more like, hey, you could pour soup in my lap and I'll probably apologize to you. When I walk, for real, my feet go out like this. I'm so open and vulnerable. I look like a doll that you point out molestation on. Show us on this white comedian where the man touched you. It's been a while since I've been home to Chicago. I got married since then. Thank you. I married my wife. I love saying my wife. It sounds so adult. That's my wife. It's great. You sound like a person. I said it even before we were married. We were just dating, and we were once getting on an airplane, and Anna's ticket didn't say anything, and my ticket said priority access. It doesn't matter why. But we were getting on, and I said, can my wife board with me? And they were like, yes, of course, right this way. And I was like, oh, that is so much better than all those times I was like, can my girlfriend come? And yeah, I shouldn't have said it that way, but still. My wife just has some kick-ass to it, you know? Get away from my wife. No one talk to my wife. Marriage is gonna be very magical. I didn't kill my wife. That's like, ooh, who's that fella? I bet he did kill his wife. Being married's so nice. I never knew relationships were supposed to make you feel better about yourself. That's not really a joke, that's just a little sweet thing I like to say. Because I'd been in relationships where I got cheated on, like long ones. I don't know if you've ever been in a long relationship where you got cheated on, but it changes your whole worldview. Because like when I was a kid, I used to watch America's Most Wanted. You know how kids do. And I would always think to myself, how could another person kill someone? How could a human being kill another human being? And then I got cheated on and I was like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna do it, but I totally get it. And I don't mean in that way of like, no one else can have you. Like, I don't care about that. It's just creepy to have an ex out there after things have ended badly. They have a lot of information. Anyone who's seen my dick and met my parents needs to die. I can't have them roaming around. I talked to a lot of people before I got engaged, you know, and I heard this expression about whether or not you should get married. This is an old expression. People say this. They say, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You ever heard that before? It's a bananas insulting expression to an entire gender. But also, it makes no sense. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? You're not allowed to milk a cow that you don't own. That's not even a situation. Was that a problem at one point? Like in the dairy community? Was that happening like 100 years ago in some village? Some Dutch prick was sneaking in at night being like, ah ha ha, I take your milk. And the farmer was like, well, then this is your cow now. And he was like, no, no proof of purchase. And he ran off into the night. That sounded Dutch, right? You know what that expression means? It means, why would you marry a woman if she's already having sex with you? Which has nothing to do with what relationships are even like anymore. Now it's like, why buy the cow, question mark? Maybe because every day the cow asks you when you're gonna buy it, and you live in a really small apartment with the cow, so you can't avoid that question at all. And also, the cow is way better at arguing than you are. And the cow grew up in a family that knows how to argue. Why buy the cow, question mark? Maybe because every time another cow gets bought, you have to go to the sale, and you have to sit next to your cow at the sale, and your cow looks over at you the entire time like, and does not enjoy the sale at all. Even though she's the one that wanted to go to the sale. And she's especially mad because that farmer and cow met like 8 months after you guys met. Why buy the cow? Well, let's be real here. You're very lucky to have the cow that you do have. Roping in cows and getting milk out of them was never anything you were known for, John. By the most liberal of estimates, there have been about 8 cows total. Several unmilked, and a lot of people think that you like bulls, and if you just, but they assume it. When you search your name, the third thing to come up is like, John Mulaney bull, question mark? And if you just bought the cow, nobody would say that anymore. They'll still say it. Because there are those guys who they buy a cow and then on the side, total matador. But for real, Chicago, why buy the cow? Let's be real. Why buy the cow? Because you love her. You really do. And yeah, sure, she's a bossy little Jew, but she takes care of you, and you don't want to be some old man stumbling around like, hey, you seen any loose milk? My wife is Jewish. She's a New York Jew. I did it. Now, I was raised Catholic. I don't know if you can tell that from the everything about me. My wife is Jewish. I grew up Catholic, so we got married by a friend. Being married by a friend is a beautiful ceremony that alienates both families' religions while confusing the elderly people at the wedding. What's the name of the bishop? That's actually stand-up comedian Dan Levy. He was the host of MTV's Your Face or Mine. I saw a lot of Catholic weddings, though, because I was an altar boy, and a hush falls over the room. Isn't it weird how that became a scandalous thing? That was just some boring shit I had to do on weekends. But now it's like saying I was a French maid for a period of time. I was treated well in my day. I worked for a variety of sirs. No, being an altar boy was just a boring gig, you know? You'd serve mass, and then you'd serve weddings sometimes. My brother was once an altar boy at a wedding, and he was standing there with another altar boy in this big packed church in Chicago where we grew up, and the bride was coming down the aisle, and the organ was playing, and all the pews were filled, and the bride got all the way to the altar, and the groom lifted the veil off of the bride, and right at that moment, the other altar boy said, "Aw, she's ugly." And then they looked, and they were right next to the video camera. And I know that's awful, but wouldn't you give like $1 million to see that wedding video? It was the best moment of this stupid woman's life. And she's walking down the aisle, and the organ's like, bum, ba-da-la-la-la-la. And she gets all the way to the altar, to her betrothed, and he unveils her to the world and to the eyes of God. And right at that second, for no reason at all, some Cheeto-fingered rat mustache 13-year-old prick decides to go, "Aw, she's ugly." Hopefully the videographer knew some sound editing so he could fix it to be like, "Aw, she's beautiful."